Cam told you, Mace, they was on Ohio shit, so now we got to get to Ohio shit because Miami beat Ohio State 24-14 in the Cotton Bowl. So, Maurice, you were at the game, so tell us about your experience, how it was. I mean,
they didn't invite me, so the trophy wasn't there. You can't get the Lombardi. You're not gonna have the trophy if Mase is not involved. But go ahead, Mo. I'm out of it. Cam wanted me out of it. This is what happened when I'm out of it. I'm out of it.
No, it's all good. No, I'll tell you like this. The atmosphere from all the pregame stuff, Miami talking about they're going to get their get back. All that stuff was amazing, right? But at the end of the day, if you've seen the game, football at the end of the day, I don't care how many stars you got. I don't care how many star wide receivers, quarterbacks, running backs, linebackers, whatever. It starts and ends with the offensive line and the defensive line. And I underestimated, like I'm sure a lot of people did, Miami's defensive line. They really took advantage of just our offensive line. They dominated, and they dominated early and often. That's essentially what happened. And then from a defensive standpoint, back towards Miami, we didn't get pressure on the ball. And so at the end of the day, Miami started fast. We struggled with Ruben Bain, and we struggled with the other kid, Mazadov, whatever his name is. I apologize if I messed it up, but that's where the game was won and lost. And it was like probably the second or third quarter that we started to gain some momentum. And then it was really before the fourth quarter where we got the penalty, the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, where we had got a penalty, and it seemed like things just stopped clicking for us. But we did the same thing that the Baltimore Ravens did. Our kicker went out and he missed a premier field goal in the Indiana game, and still with Miami, we missed another field goal here. But they won fair and square. But the coolest part at the end of the day, I tell you, just was a cool moment for me. I've never met Mike Irv in person, and so I didn't know how Mike was going to act after the game. But I went to go find Mike. It took me like 10 or 15 minutes because he's an entertaining dude, as y'all know, right? So he was walking around the stadium, but I had to go find Mike, and so to my surprise, it was just like good energy being around him. That was probably the coolest part for me, being around him. Then I ended up seeing Andre Johnson and Edgerrin James and dapped him up and congratulate him. But, went back to the locker room. And so just like I talked shit in peace and I did my thing, I lost in peace and said, hey, y'all beat us. I don't make excuses. I don't get into all that, how niggas be saying, if we would have played them 10 times, we would have beat them 9, all that shit. Like, we lost, nigga, accept it, get better, and move on. So, yeah, that's the camp I come from. It's just, no pun intended, but it is what it is. Get better, move on. So.
He said we'd have played them 10 times.
Yeah, that's how losers talk. Like, when I see, and I love these guys, I love these kids, but all that, like, if it would have been another day, another play, all right, nigga, we lost. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, accept the L and keep it moving, man. That's my mentality towards life.
Yeah, all I want to say is, Stat, are you ready to put some respect on Carson name now?
I mean, yes. I still feel how I felt.
Yeah.
I just look, a win is a win. That's all I care about. So if he's the one that's going to take us there, love that. But my thoughts still stand. They really do. But I'm happy.
That's all I
happy
wanted
for
to
us.
know.
I'm happy that we won. That's still consistent. Maurice, glad you and Mike got to meet up. That's super cool. And he does always bring good energy around him. When we went to the Miami game, people were just handing him their babies, and he's like holding up the babies like Simba and like. Love that. It's great to be around. But hilarious. But yeah, shout out Miami.
Hold on, let me tell this before we go. I will say this. So it was after the game, and I was like, this is some wild shit. So Mike goes to one of our players. Mike pull out a wad of money, right? And so, after the game, he usually do the belt to ass thing. Yeah. And so I'm like conflicted. So I'm right by him. I'm like, yeah, Mike, you can do this, but I ain't about to be in the video. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mike got the belt on you.
Listen to me. So he said, Maurice, right? So, man, come over to me. He give me a hug. And we dapped up, right? And so he goes to our water boy. He go to our water boy. He trying to get the water boy some money for his shirt. And I'm looking at the water boy like, I know you ain't about to do this. I walked off like I said, come on, man, you can't sell your shirt. Like, I was salty about the laws, but I just felt conflicted about the water boy selling his shirt so Mike could do the thing. I was still salty about losing. So cool story, but I was like, damn, I can't really be in the video, Mike. I love you, but I gotta go. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You said this one. I
Look,
am
I
out.
think y'all quarterback for us was too young. He got some time. Uh, Justin saying, I think he got Julian saying, that's
Julian
his
saying
name,
correct.
Julian. Yeah,
Yes,
Julian
sir.
saying he got some time and held on to the ball a little too long. But shout out to Miami, they won. I'm actually the only one on this show that lives in Miami. I'm in my house in Miami now,
Oh
actually, as we speak.
my
So
goodness. Well, you're not
I'm on the
doing that.
ocean. I
No.
can turn the camera to the ocean. I'm the only one that lives in Miami. I'm in Miami as we speak.
Please.
I'll be back in
No.
studio tomorrow.
No.
Do you live in Miami, Stat? Let me ask you, Stat. Outside of your dorm, have you ever lived in Miami?
No. You know that.
Thank you.
So it doesn't matter. He's like, oh, what does that have to do with
Yo, bro,
y'all's
if it was night
lives?
outside, I would show you the ocean. I live on the ocean, man. Like, I live
Man.
in Miami, man. Mace
Man.
lived in Miami. I can't even argue with
Yeah,
him about
yeah.
that.
My social security says Florida, man.
So do
Y'all,
Stat, but y'all never lived in Miami. Stat It's crazy.
I've never
That, you
lived.
never lived in
I
Miami?
never lived a lot. I didn't get my like first, like I was in college. No.
Oh my goodness! So you can't say that. You never had an address.
I did have an address. I had an address. I just didn't like I lived on campus because I was a student and I was a student living in Miami. That was not like that's not like normal things
That's
to
the
just be
the
paying for a
university.
crib in
That's not
Miami
your
as
address.
a college student.
Okay.
Like what? Anyway,
So on your driver's license, it said the school address.
no, it's Florida. Like it's Florida.
Okay. But what address?
My home address.
Yeah, so it wasn't the dorm.
No, it wasn't the dorm. And
She's
everybody
trying to
knows.
say her address in Tampa.
Yeah, like it was my home address.
That's
Like
what
my-
I'm trying
my
to say.
parents'
She
house.
never lived there.
You, oh
see
my
it.
gosh! In the comments down below, let me know if you need to have the exact address to prove that you lived somewhere. Like I wasn't there for 4 years. What? Anyways, I just had to that because now it's like, oh, I live in Miami, like,
When the dorm closed, did
and
you
it was
stay
all
in Miami?
Ohio, everything, this and that, and now we.
When the dorm closed, did you stay in Miami?
I lived in Ohio too. I lived there. I wasn't just hanging out. I lived there.
I need to see people's
I lived
definitions.
I lived
of
in
living.
Park Hill. I lived in this shit called Park Hill, man. I was in Eastern, like I can name spots, man. Club 69, I ran that, man. Like yo, Mo tell you
That's
like
that's
this
the real
run
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the real shit, man. Like yo, come on, man.
No, I'm not doubting you. I believe
It was
you.
around some
I
real
can't
dudes
name
here.
drop no streets in Ohio. That's why I'm like, yeah, that y'all got it because I know I
Listen,
don't
I
know.
was like I was in Open Locker.
Opalaka.
Yeah, I be Open Locker. Shout out to my man B. Shout out to Boom. I be Open Locker and all that dirt, hen. I'm out here.
Period,
You
John.
ever been hanging out? You
listen.
ever hung out? You ever hung out Open Locker, Stat?
I have to get food.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm
I
in
didn't
Miami.
live there, but that is real Miami.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Overtown, Open Locker, Carroll City, Hialeah. What's good, everybody? you was only down there in Coral Gables, Coconut Grove,
No,
going
I
to school.
lived in Coral Gables, but same way,
Yeah.
like you said, Overtown, Hialeah, Brickell. Like I've been there. I didn't live there. I don't have to have a place of residence.
Brickell is mad commercial. All right.
That's
tourist.
fine.
Like, that's where the tourists move.
That's
You,
fine.
like, you know what it is? Because my man shot. Yeah, I'm just saying. You know what it is? Because when people talk about Miami Heat or the Miami Dolphins, not you, Stat, people, yo, South Beach. They never mention the part of, I know people that live in Miami that never been to the beach. They don't come over, they say, I ain't going over to bridge to party. I ain't going over there. I know people that never came over to this side.
Yeah, it's different.
There's shit going on over there.
Yeah,
it's a
and
little
like
different.
fun fact,
Just wanted
like
to show them some love.
Fun fact, because my parents, when I first went to Miami too, I was always like searching up spots because like I do like to eat. Like I like a crab boil, I like some wings or whatever. I was trying to go to different parts of Miami. My parents used to yell at me because they were looking at my location. They were like, "Why are you not in Coral Gables?" And I was like, "Because I went to go get a plate." And they're like, "You don't need to be over there in Coconut Creek." I'm like, "Why not? I want a plate." So I was where I was supposed to be, but that didn't mean that I didn't go places. So yeah, shout out to Miami.
Yeah, shout out to Miami. Stop, but just for the record, you didn't live in Miami because it wasn't on your license.
That's debatable. I will let the comments tell us what they think about that because I think that's very debatable.
And you didn't have
I lived in LA and I didn't have an LA ID, like California
you didn't have
ID.
an address, but you had an address in LA. But I'm not here to argue because in 2026, I'm not going back and forth.
Ooh. Full circle. That part.
That's one of the places you ain't going.
And if y'all needed to learn anything today, that is what y'all needed to learn. But that is all the time that we have for today. Maurice, you know it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Quarter zip. I'll see you next week.
It's over. Yeah, it's over.
You gotta send me your address. I had a palm tree in my yard for the longest. I gotta send you the palm tree.
Palm tree? After the Christmas tree.
That's what I was supposed to send them for Christmas, but I don't have an address. We're speaking of addresses.
Yeah. It was good seeing y'all. Happy to see y'all. Happy to be back.
He's not going back and forth. He not.
Happy to see the good energy. Happy to see y'all smiling. Happy to be back on the show. Yeah. Ain't nothing changed with him.
Nope. Season 8 is here, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
On the flip side, Mike, what's the team that you trust the least?
Oh, and NFC, and this is a more difficult question because, like, I love what I see in a young Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams. Now, you know, sometimes he'll lose it on his reading, like 1, 2, 3, go here, go here, go there. And he's still processing and learning that part. But what he's great at right now and what he loves and looks forward to is what's big in these playoffs. He wants the big moments. He doesn't mind playing close games. He wants the chance to run around, scramble, and make that great play to win the game. That kind of patting on the back, man, you did a great play, man, you the hero. You know, that's addictive too. You like that, and that makes him a big play player. But in the playoffs, those big plays are what gets you in trouble, and you start reverting back to who you were because you start pressing because you think this is it. It's literally do or die. So when I start thinking about who I trust the least, man, health-wise, I would be calling out Green Bay. Operational in the NFC, trusting the least, I would have to say it's probably those Chicago Bears. They allow you to run the ball on them, and then that's what gets them in trouble. And Caleb Williams have to make those big plays. If he comes trying to make big plays and make big mistakes, there is no way to fix it next week. So I would have to give it to the Bears.
Yeah, I would agree with you semi with that because, you know, like you said, trying to make those big plays, people get to read the backfield, get to read in his eyes, pause. Those are going to be picks. And sometimes people let you think you got it all the way into the end of the game and get the pick when they want to get it. So that's why I look at Chicago. And another one I would go with is North Carolina, the Panthers. You know, this is just too fast. You know,
right.
The Panthers would be the team I would have went with if you never said anything and gave that good explanation about the Bears, the Panthers.
I don't even know what the fuck.
No,
No, Mike, it's not your goal. This is what Mase was talking about. You line step and you have to wait. No. I can't let you do it. Both of them, I don't know. No.
Mase is right. Yeah, let him finish.
Because you know what?
Ain't glitching.
Listen, man.
You're not glitching, Mike, so you're not lying.
Listen, my whole point is, I'm going to be honest with you. What I was going to say is this. I don't know what you was talking about, and I don't even know why Mase agreed with you. It's the North Carolina Panthers without even a blink of an eye. You ain't have to give that big speech about Caleb Williams. Mase ain't have to agree with you about the speech about Caleb Williams. It is the North Carolina Panthers, the team you trust the least. This is the team, and Mike, I want to ask you a question about this after I finish my take. This is a team that's not 800. I'm really mad that Tampa Bay's not in it. They finished with the same record as the Falcons, three-way tie, 8-9, not even 500. What are y'all talking about? You know, in the backfield, they're going to read his eyes, and then that's going to lead into a pick. And, you know, when Caleb Williams, it is the North. This is not even
I was just segueing.
Yeah, listen, if you want to agree, we'll make him feel good. I understand. That's why I didn't let him go. There's no way he's going to try and jump back in and act like he ain't give all that bullshit when the North Carolina Panthers are under 500 players. That's why I wasn't going to let him try and jump back in and change this shit around. Giving us all these in. Sometimes you're overdoing it, Mike, with your football expertise. You're overdoing it. You know, when the pass rush comes and they run in the nickel in the formation, yo, Mike, it is the Carolina Panthers, and that's just that, man. I don't even know why Mase tried to agree with you. I couldn't wait for my go. I was sitting here like this. What are these niggas talking about? Yo, what are they talking? What the fuck are they talking about? What are they talking about? The trust the least. What I do want to ask you, Mike, though, real quick. I've talked about it yesterday, my discuss for it. It's two-part question. I was saying, before I tell you ask you the question, I was saying that the NFL needs to figure something out, because it's no way in the world that North Carolina should be hosting a playoff game. It's no way in the world. So what I wanted to ask you is this. How do you feel, and you may just feel, look, Cam, listen, this is the way it's been for years. They won the division. They get the game now. Look, you may feel like that. I want to know just how do you feel knowing they finished the season 8-9, basically winning the division by default, and get to host the playoff game. Do you think that's right, or you just like Cam, that's just the way it is? Or do you think they need to change that around? Like, I don't care if y'all won division. The fucking 49ers are 13-4. They need to host the game. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, because in order to have harmony, you got to have some kind of structure.
Okay.
Or we will have chaos to this thing, you know. So if you just start trying to realign or say best team with best record, well, now we don't have a true judge, because you didn't play the same teams and everything. So now at least we go in divisions, because each team is pretty much playing the same record, you know, at different times. You're going to play each other twice, and then you'll play the whole NFC West. You know, so that's the same records. Each team in that division played the same team, so we can determine who leads in this division. That's the crucial part, I think. And I do the way it is, because it gives us that structure. Now, you start talking about the NFC West, when you got San Fran, Seattle, and the Rams, all double-digit wins. You were saying them records much better than this team, and you said, no way, you should be going to the Rams. But Carolina beat the Rams 31-28 a couple weeks ago. You see what I'm saying? And as long as we keep it in these divisions, in these silos where we have harmony and making the assessment on who wins the division, then at least we keep from coming up on what the hell we're dealing with in college football. I don't want to hear somebody tell me I can tell Carolina is not as bad, that's not better than the Rams, because I can see on the field where Carolina beat the Rams. The game ain't about what you see, it's about what happens on game day. And in those games, Carolina did what they needed to do to win the division. I don't say they back then. They won 8 games. They won those games. And each game counts the same. That goes back to when they were trying to say to Miami, well, first week of the season don't count as much in the 17th week. That's a lie. When we start letting people do it and take it off the football field, people start making their own assessment, and that is where it gets crazy. So, no, they won the division. Remember the time it happened when Seattle won the division and New Orleans had that great record, and they had to go to Seattle, and Seattle was like a 500 or below team. And that's when you got that beast run. And Seattle won that game, even though New Orleans had the best record. I only remember the game because that's where the beast mode run came from. And they made history in that game with that run. But yeah, you got to let it play the way it plays so we can measure harmony to harmony.
Gotcha.
No, I don't agree with that, Mike. Even in the NFC, there was other teams that had a better record than them. So I think as long as it's still in the NFC, they should be able to make that change. Because then you would have the Lions. The Lions would be in the playoffs.
Yeah, but the Lions knew what they had to do at the beginning of the year to get in the playoffs. So we're not cheating them. They fell short of the criteria. It's not like we changed it as we went along. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to change it to get them in when y'all knew the rules before we started the game.
That's what I was asking. Do you like it like that? But you explained it very well. I understand what you're saying.
You said you had something to ask me?
I do, yes. So I saw recently a clip of you saying that you asked your girl if she was serious about marriage, or said if she was serious about marriage, that she had to buy the ring. Now, my question for you is, the ring that she bought, was that the actual ring that you ended up using to propose, or was that symbolic? Like, all right, she bought the ring, but now I'm about to really do my thing. Like, did you just want to see her do it, or was that the actual ring that she got on her finger?
Which one do you think? You spend some time around us. Which one do you think? Do you think he did it to make the cash her out, or did you think he did it?
Okay, so knowing what I know about you over this last year and some change, that is the exact ring that was used in that proposal.
What's better than the one that she'd invest in? One thing I learned about women is that they honor their sacrifice a little bit higher than your sacrifice. Guys, you got to know this. And I see Stat making these faces. Put the camera on Stat. Stat, let me ask you something. And Killer is listening in, so I know he's going to chime in on this. If you paid the rent for the last 6 months, or he paid the rent for the last 6 months, which one means more to you?
I mean, well, back... Because I'm like, you're asking about the ring and then you're asking about rent, which are two very, very, very different things.
I knew you couldn't answer the question.
No, I can't answer it, because I can value a man's sacrifices, especially a busy man, because that's important to me too.
Do you value his sacrifice over yours?
All monetary sacrifices to me are important sacrifices, especially if that's your money that you're making.
Okay, so if do you value... What hits your heart more, that you had to spend $10,000 on him some Jordans, or him spending $10,000 on your shoes? Which one would you like it to be?
I mean, both are gonna hit my heart in different ways.
I know, but which one would you like it to be? Which scenario is more likely for you? You paid 6 months of the rent, or him paying 6 months?
I'm naturally a giver, but I'm also gonna want things in return too. So it goes both ways. But I am, though. Because if you
Arabia, Saudi,
Saudi is crazy.
Saudi. That's what I'm going to start saying when it's time for you to turn up. Which one is pressing on your heart more? That you had to spend $10,000 on him some Jordans, or he spent $10,000 on you some shoes?
All right, so here's what I think. I think in society, men in general are taught to suppress how they feel. A woman might be more vocal about, I did this for you and I sacrificed this and I gave up this and I helped you do this, da da da. But a man might be more likely to just charge it to the game and just keep it moving. Like maybe a woman's just more vocal about it, but the men, they're both making the same sacrifices. So to me, I'm the type of person, I don't like people holding stuff over my head, like being like, oh, remember when I did this? So I would rather give to you than you give to me, because I don't want you to bring it up later when you're trying to be in an argument. But, you know, that's just what I think, Dr. Betha.
So you'll let them spend, you'll pay the rent for 6 months and just feel like you did it for your baby.
I'll put it like this. I've never, outside of like my son's father, who obviously is a different situation, I've never had a man spend more on me. I've never had a man spend more on me in our relationship than I spend on him in our relationship. I've always been the money spender. I've never, ever had a man who really outdid me in that regard. So that would be a new one for me. Again, outside of my son's father, because we have a child, but I've never been.
Put the camera on stat. Put the camera on stat.
I mean, that hasn't happened to me. but that's just me.
Oh my goodness.
That's just me.
I can't make this up. I can't make it up.
I haven't been in the situation where I have spent more. Not saying that I wouldn't, but I haven't. Because the thing about it, at the end of the day, if I really, really, really need something, I'm going to ask my dad. And my dad's going to give it to me. That's just that. Like, that's my situation, though. So, but I don't think that means that a man has to spend a certain monetary amount for me to be satisfied. It was never giving that. So, that's just what I think.
Okay.